Let's assume you start a car rental business, making an initial investment to purchase cars and then renting them to customers for rental income. So, this business has certain cash outflows and certain cash inflows. So, should you get into this kind of business or not? The answer actually lies in the NPV, that is net present value. And I would say it is also considered as one of the most important concepts in the field of finance. And in this video, we will make you understand the NPV and how you can use it to make business decisions. Now let's understand what is net present value and what are its applications in the real life. So basically, in order to understand the concept of net present value, first we need to master the concept of time value of money, which we have already covered in our previous videos, and you can find the link in the description box as well. So moving forward, what is present value and what are its applications? So basically, NPV, I would say, basically allows project stakeholders to determine if future benefits are more or less than the initial investment. So I know this definition is a bit complicated. So let's understand this using a simple example. So the so let's say in our case, we have taken person X has started a company of car rentals in which he has made an initial investment in purchase the cars, and in the further coming years, he is generating revenue. He or she is generating revenue through car rentals. So let's start our business or a project. The first column we need to make is year, and the second column we need to make is cash flows. So the first is zero at the initial point. That let's suppose the person has made an investment of 2000. That means there is a cash outflow. So we need to show this under a minus sign. So let's say in year one, the person X has generated a revenue of 1100 through car rentals, and let's assume 1200 for year two, and let's increase this by 100 for year three. Let's first of all, let's give this a border, and the first thing is cash outflow. This is a cash outflow, that is why it is shown under the minus sign. And the second thing is cash inflow, that means there is a cash inflow, the cash is coming in. Moving forward, there are certain steps which we need to follow in order to calculate our net present value. So let's look at those steps. And one more thing, we need to assume the discount rate as well, basically the rate at which we are going to discount our cash flows, the future cash flows. So let's take it 10%. This is just a hypothetical number. There are many ways in which we can calculate the discount rate, but we are not going to get into that or on all that things, because our main concept is net present value here. So there are certain steps which we need to follow in order to calculate the net present value. That is steps to follow to find out the net present value of a project. Moving forward, the first step is we need to find out the present value of all the future cash flows. So before proceeding to the next steps, let's perform the first step. Present value of year one. So the formula to calculate the present value is equals to select the future cash flow, divide, start the bracket, 1 plus, select the discount rate, close the bracket, and if it is for the year one, we need to take the power as 1, and if we don't even take, that is not going to make any impact on the value. So the answer is 1000 rupees for the year one. So now let's calculate for year two. That is equals to, need to take the value of year two, that is 1200. We need to divide this by 1 plus discount rate, close the bracket, and we need to take the power as 2 because this is year 2. Press enter, and our present value of year 2 is 991. Present value of year 3 So let's calculate this as well. Equals to, select the cash flow of the third year divided by, start the bracket, 1 plus discount rate, close the bracket, and we need to take the power as 3 because this is year 3. Let's round this off. So this is our first step, that is we need to calculate the present value of all the future cash flows. So moving forward, the second step is we need to find out the sum of all the present values. We need to find out the sum of all the present values. So let's calculate the sum as well. Sum of present values. Let's make this bold. And the sum is, for the sum, we can basically use the sum formula, that is equals to SUM. Start the bracket, select the three values of which we need to find the sum, press enter. So this is our second step. Moving forward to the third step, that is we need to consider the cash outflow. And what is a cash outflow? We need to consider the cash outflow. Moving forward, so basically what is cash outflow? Cash outflow is basically the investment we have made in order to start the business. So in our case, it is 2000 rupees. Moving forward, cash outflow, that is equals to minus 2000 in our case. And the fourth and the last step is we need to add the cash outflow and sum of present values to find out the NPV. So let's find out the sum as well. That is net present value equals to this plus this. Let's make this bold and alt HPS, alt HPC. Okay. So this is how we can calculate our net present value, and in our example the net present value comes out to be 968.444778. So in short, what is net present value? Net present value is equals to present value of all the future cash flows plus the cash out. So this is how we can calculate the net present value of any project, and these are the 4 steps which we need to follow in order to calculate our net present value. So I would say this is a bigger method to calculate the net present value. We can even calculate the net present value in 2 to 3 steps, and it will hardly take us, I would say, 1 minute to calculate that. So let's calculate our net present value using certain formulas which Excel has provided us with. So that is equals to NPV, close the start the bracket, select the rate. Our rate is 10%, and what are our the values are these 3 years. Close the bracket and press enter. And as you can see, uh, by basically using the formula of net present value, we can directly calculate the sum of present values. So the next thing we need to consider is our cash outflow, and by simply taking the sum of these two, we can easily calculate the net present value of our project. That comes out to be 968 in both the cases. As I just mentioned, NPV is basically used to analyze whether you should accept or reject the project. So basically in NPV, there are two possibilities. So what are those two possibilities? There are two possibilities. The first one is NPV is positive. So what if NPV is positive? If NPV is positive, that means you should accept the project. That is in our case. Our NPV here has come out to be positive. That means we should accept the project because this project is going to be profitable in the upcoming years as well. And the second case is exactly the opposite. NPV is negative. If NPV is negative, that means you should not accept the project. Let's understand these two statements briefly using our example only that we have taken. Let's select this, Control plus C, and let's paste it here. So in our case, we have taken the discount rate as 10%. So let's calculate the net present value of this project of 10 discount rates starting from 0% to 100%, and let's analyze how it is going to impact our net present value and whether we should accept the project or not. So let's make three columns. The first one is discount rate, second one is NPV, and the third one is accept or reject. So let's say 0%, 10%, 20%, and let's drag this till 100%, I would say. So a formula for net present value is equals to NPV, start the bracket, select the discount rate, comma, select the future cash flows, close the bracket, plus the cash outflow, that is minus 2000 in this case, and press enter. First of all, let's change this into number, and our NPV is coming out to be 1600. That's a very decent number. So first of all, let's fix the referencing pass first of all, and we can fix the referencing by pressing function F4, and let's press enter and copy this, uh, Control plus C, shift down till 100%, Control plus C, and let's now put the if formula, that is equals to IF. What is our NPV? And if our NPV is greater than 0, that is positive, press comma, the value will come out to be accept, and if it is less than 0, then the result will come reject. Close the bracket, press enter, and as you can see, it is coming out to be accept because the net present value is greater than 0, that is positive. So let's press Control plus C, press Control plus V. So till 30% our net present value was in positive, that is 147, and when we move forward to 40%, 50%, 60%, 70%, until 100%, our net present value was negative. That means we should reject the project in this case. So in this way, first of all, let's perform the formatting part as well. Alt HS. Let's make this dark blue. Let's make this text bold. Let's change the font color to white for better visibility. Yeah. So using the net present value formula, we can basically ascertain whether we should accept the project or not. And we have already explained you how to calculate the net present value and in what cases we should accept the project and in what all cases we should reject the project. So this is overall idea about the net present value.